Thank you.
It's almost 4. Sorry, almost 3 o'clock. Another 1 minute will just start. Okay, good afternoon, everyone. So we can start the class now. Please, you mute yourself if you are not speaking to avoid background noise. Please just mute yourself.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
When you have to speak, you unmute, you speak. And after that, you mute back again. Thank you. So I'll be able to move. I think by my time, it's 3 p.m. West Africa time. I don't know if it's the same where you are. So I think we can start now. So once again, you are welcome to this live section. And the live section, we're going to have it twice in this program. Today and the 4th week, we're going to have another live section. So to have this live session with you today is with Mr. Okechukwu Okafor and myself, Inegbedion Juliet. The 2 of us are going to anchor the live section for today. So having said that, we'll just begin. First, we'll just take a look at the course page. Why do we want to take a look? We observe that some people are still having maybe few challenges. Somebody is raising hand. Uwakama, sorry if I don't pronounce it well. You have something to say, Angela.
Uwamaka.
Uwamaka, you are raising your hand. Do you have something to say? Angela, you have the floor. Or is it in error? Okay, maybe it's in error.
Prof, continue, ma. I think it's in error.
So we have the course page. We observe that some persons cannot really walk through it adequately. We observe also that some people are not even looking at the PDF or the Word document attached to the videos. So based on this, you are going to look at what you need to know and the expectations that is being expected from you if you are going to earn certificate and the type of certificate. So I'm going to share now so that my colleague, Mr. Okafor, is going to walk you through as a review on this so that we'll be on the same page. For those of us that have not done what we ought to do, after going through this section, please, we would like you to go back and walk through your sessions properly. So I'm going to unshare now for my colleague to take you through that section. Mr. Okafor, please, you have the floor. Mr. Okafor, okay.
All right, ma'am. Thank you very much, ma'am. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, so I'll be sharing my screen just to show us, to talk a little bit about the certification. Just a minute. Okay, so basically, I just want to show us this about the certification. Like we all know, on the home page of the MOOCATE, we said that to earn certificates of achievements, you must take all quizzes with an average minimum score of 70%. And also watch all videos, submit your assignment and receive feedbacks and participate in discussions. Why we are actually bringing this up again was that we realized that in the last MOOC we had, a lot of participants were just, going straight to the quiz. That's just a quiz, and we're just participating in the quiz. They didn't actually go through the videos. They were not participating in the forum, and also they were not very active, as to say, but they got high scores in their quizzes, and they were not still qualified for a certificate. And I got a lot of calls, I got a lot of emails, and I had to explain to them why this happened. So for that singular fact, we felt that it would be
Mr. Okafor, please, can you just hold on a bit? Let's see, Shehu is raising hands. I don't know if he has something urgent.
Okay.
Shehu, please, we could see your hand raised. Do you have something you want to say? Okay, just to greet us. Okay, you're welcome. Okay, you have the floor, Mr. Okafor. Back to you.
Okay, man. So, and all right, man. So that's for the certificates of achievement. Actually, we are going to give 2 different certificates. We'll be earning 2 different certificates, which will be certificate of achievement and participation. So also know that you can only earn 1 certificate, either the certificate of achievement or participation. Now, for the certificate of achievement, like I said earlier on, you have to score at least 70% and above. Okay. You have to score 70% and above. Olabisi, can you please mute yourself? You are distracting. All right, thank you. Now, for the second certificate, which is the certificate of participation, you must score above 40% in all your activities, and this is 40% and above. And of course, that means if you score 69%, you will still earn certificate of participation. Hello.
Hi, we can hear you.
Oh, good. So I'll need us to actually take notes of this. After this, we'll be doing a formal mail to us or explaining this to us, because I think it's very important that we understand how to earn the certificates. It's important that we know that. And with this, I think we should also know that, we need to also watch the videos and participate in the discussion forum to actually earn the certificate of achievement. Prof, I think, I don't know if they have if they have questions for me, so I will know where exactly to.
Before the question comes in, can you just take us through the page?
Okay.
Where to download, what to download.
Okay.
You get the video. How do you navigate? Some have not even participated in the discussion forum, so don't know how to click on it. That is what we have observed. Can you quickly take them through the course page?
Okay, ma'am. Thank you very much, ma'am. I'll quickly run through the page. As you can see on my page, I'm actually logged in at myself.
We cannot see your page. We are seeing your PowerPoint.
Left-hand side.
We are not seeing your page. We are seeing your PowerPoint. Unshare and share again.
And okay, let me unshare and share again. All right. All right. How about now? Can you see my screen?
It's coming up.
Okay.
It's still coming up. It has not shown. Yes, we can see it now.
All right, fine. So I believe we all know how to get to this particular this particular screen, this page. I have an instructor account, so I wouldn't want to come in through the home page, but let's just see what it looks like. So if it's something I can say explain from. But however,
you can come in from the student angle.
This is the student page. This is what the students, this is what they will see as a student. Once they log in, this is what they will see. Now, on the course home, that's the first link on your left hand pane. What you see is you have the links to different weeks. That's the week 1, week 2, and week 1, week 2, week 0, as you can see. By clicking on it, the unit for every other week appears. Now, in week 1, because that's where we actually started uploading resources. Now, as you can see here, unit 1, copyright and OER. On the right-hand side, there's an icon of a doc. That this means this is a document. Now, this is actually where you can actually access your resources without going to the resources link, without going to the resources page. So from here, you can click on that icon and download your resources. The same thing applies to your announcements. Now, not every announcement is being posted, is being shown on your screen. Like now, we have the most recent announcement is the live session. But for you to get up to date announcement, you can click on this announcement. You come here, it gives you all the list of various announcements that has been made during the course of this course. Now, these are all the announcements from the inception till the most current one, which is like some 15-20 minutes ago, about the live session starting. Then the forum is very important. We know this because the forum is actually part of what the analytics takes, in considering you for certification. And for some of us that have not actually participated fully in the forum, I would advise us that we do so. This is the forum. You have quite a number of topics, and you can also create a topic. Now, how do you create your topic? You come to new topic, maybe subject, how to navigate, and so on. I need to learn. Let me just put this there. And you have your forum created. So, sorry, I think I'm having a lot of network issues here, but okay, good. So now,
excuse me.
Hello?
Are you correct the spelling of that learn?
No, let's just leave this.
No, don't worry.
Follow the demonstration, please.
This demonstration, I'm going to
demo.
delete it. It's just a demo.
To save time.
Just to show us. And of course, since we've done this, we know, okay, you can come to the forum and create your forum. And again, you can also create a forum in the course page. That is to say, under a particular lecture video. Like,
hello,
for instance,
hello, good afternoon, sir.
Let me take. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon, sir. Hello, sir.
Please, lecture is going on. When you are joining, you just follow the lecture. You don't need to greet us at this stage, please.
Or you raise up your hands. Let's know you want to talk, so we know who exactly is talking, please. So that is it. Then also within the platform itself, or within the particular unit, you can also still create your forum or ask a question within that topic, which I think this is actually better for me because it shows that you're actually, you've actually went through the videos and your question is related to that particular unit or particular video that you want to, that your forum question is like, okay, this is where you have it. Discussion on this lecture, you can come here and do the same process that I just showed to us. So these are some of the basic things that we need to do to actually get to really help the analytics, to help us get proper certification. Pretty much the hangout and so on. So yeah, over to you, Prof.
Thank you so much. Before I could see a lot of people are eager to ask questions. We're going to give them opportunity to do that. Maybe there are area of clarity. Now, when we say raise hands, please look at the bottom. If you are using a laptop or a desktop, it's always better off. You will see reactions. If you click on reaction, you click on raise hand, then your hand will be raised, because it is better that way, so that it will be orderly for us to take questions. So in this session, we're going to take just 3 questions because there are a lot of things we're going to do. I still call on Uwamaka, your hand is still raised, but if you don't want to ask a question, it's in error, please go back to where you raise your hand and lower it. Please lower your hand asking a question. Uwamaka, sorry. Do you still want to speak? Uwamaka, do you still want to speak? Okay. Eben, do you want to ask a question? Eben,
yes,
your hand
please.
is raised.
Thank you very much. Yes. Yes, thank you very much, ma'am. I have 2 questions. Now, number 1, I noticed that the responses on the forum, it is not acknowledged, either right or wrong.
Okay, please, can you leave that on? Because there is a session we have given to those kind of questions. On this particular one he has just done now, do you have any question on this?
Then the certificate.
On certification and
yes,
walking through the course.
Yes, is the certificate is it being given on a weekly basis, or is going to be at the end of the program?
At the end now.
That is the answer. That
it's going to be at the end of the program.
Because when you said that some people are calling you and so on.
Thank you. Not for this group. Not for this group. We say in the previous. Thank you. Busayo. Busayo.
Hello, Prof. Thank you, ma'am. Can you hear me, ma'am?
Yes, we can hear you. You have the floor.
Yeah, thank you. Mine is not a question actually, but an observation. Ma, I will suggest that for subsequent programs like this, a forum like this particular live session, Ma, I will suggest that it should have come earlier. The students will know what they need to do ahead of time before doing them. For me, I never knew there was a particular score you need to score for the quiz. So like now you are getting to know that you need to score a certain amount of score in your quiz before you can be certificated. So please, next time, let this information be passed across before the program.
Thank you. Thank you. Sorry, we are trying to work with time. Mr. Okechukwu, can you go to the course page? Because what you are saying now is on the course page. It was the first thing we posted, even with the advertisements. It's on the course page with the advertisement. Please, can you bring it up?
I'm trying to do that, man.
It's on the course page.
All right,
so we now discover that people are not doing it. That is why we are now trying to call attention of persons to it. Then secondly, if you look at the mode that MOOC normally operates, you don't even have live section in MOOC. But we are now bringing in the live section as a modification on the method of working on MOOC to see if that will make it better. Okay, sorry, we will not be able to take other questions. So let's just keep them aside. We'll answer there when we come to Janet so that we can walk through. Let's just see that part on the page. Then we'll walk through the remaining part because we still have a lot of things to do.
Page, sorry.
How do you know?
You can scroll down.
So this is it here.
I think the network there is a little bit poor, but on your course page, if you scroll down, you're going to see it. Look at it about certificates. To earn certificate of, and you must. You see it, yes, store of self. This is the first. As we are advertising this course, this came with it. So that came with it. So, but we discovered that people don't really read in-depth as such, and some things are missing. That is why we are taking time to walk through them. So thank you, Mr. Okechukwu. So can you unshare now?
All right, man. Thank you very much, Prof.
So while we are waiting for him to unshare, we have walked through 2 weeks. This course is for 4 weeks. And week 1, we are looking at the fundamentals of OER. And in week 2, we are looking at a bit of course design that we need to do before we can really go on and say, yes, we are ready to integrate open educational resources. So in this, we have a lot of things we've been exposed to in the week 1, looking at the fundamentals of the use of OER in online learning. And there were basic licenses we are introduced to and what we need to know. I know that in one of the, somebody will say, oh, this is not practical. But maybe at the end of today, we'll know whether we are working towards the practical or not. Because if you do not have the fundamentals and somebody say, oh, go and search for this, you might find it a little bit difficult searching for it and integrating it into your course design. Again, we talk on some issues like you having materials on public domain, you have copyrighted materials, you have open educational resources material, you have public access to materials. How do you deal, and fair use, how do you deal with all this? I think all that was walked through in week 1. Then week 2, we are now looking at the online design basics. And in working with that, we pick a particular model, and that was the ADDIE model. And how you can use ADDIE model to actually plan your course and where the OER comes in. Because even we in our secular face-to-face teaching, all of us use OER in one way or the other. But the misuse of it is there because you find some people when they want to integrate their OER, they start looking for the OER first without looking at some other things like the learning outcome you want to achieve. We're supposed to be the driver of getting the right OER. So these are the things that we walk through. I want to find out if we have questions, not general questions, please, questions that has to do with any of this. We're going to give chance to like 3 persons to talk, then before we move on to the next one. I could see Adenike raising hand. Adenike, you have the floor. The question has to relate to this, please. Adenike. Okay, if Adenike is not ready, are you ready?
Adenegon, yes, ma'am. Thank you very much, ma'am, for the wonderful.
I'm seeing Adenike Adewale.
Okay, this Adenegon.
Okay.
Okay, speak up.
Okay, thank you very much, ma'am. I appreciate the facilitation on the course design. I had a confusion on the collaborative, active, and the scaffolding based on one of the questions for the week 2. I think based on the explanation given by Professor Inegbidion, collaborative has to do with peer group learning and what have you. But from the question, the answer provided from your hand was scaffolding, which was misleading to me. I need clarification on that, ma'am.
Can you tell us the question? Because I can't remember the question.
Okay, the question was, yes, ma'am, that using peer group in training is an example of dash, and we have scaffolding, collaborative, active, and whatever. I pick collaborative active as the answer, but from your end, it was scaffolding. And scaffolding is teacher-centered based on the explanation. So when it has to do with peer group learning, it is collaborative active. So I was confused by the answer.
I want to be very sure, but the question you quoting now is not clear. Let me unshare and see if I can get to that question.
Okay,
So
I can pose the question on the platform
so
now.
that I can address it properly.
Okay, ma'am.
That has to do with, okay, why I will come back to that. Titilayo, please, can you make your, Titilayo, you have the floor. Titilayo, you have the floor. Good afternoon.
Yes, ma'am. My question is how to use OER under educational search, because Mr. Okafor gave us two types of search, which is what education. We have the educational search and the general search. Under educational search, I want to ask that what types of educational search can be used to solve mathematics?
You are the one that will help us on that. Because first and foremost, that is why we talk about the learning outcomes. Before you now start looking into it, because even OER, Creative Commons, on its own, there is a site you can go. Like OOUK, they have a site. So if you are talking about educational search, there are searches you want to bring up that are non-educational. It's not directive. You just want to know, to just be informative. It's not purely directional to a particular objective or outcome that is being set. So when you are looking at educational search, first and foremost, you have to determine what you want to look out for. Then before you now think of, okay, where is the best place for me to get these open educational resources? And I will leave it to Mr. Okafor to quickly speak on that, because I'm sure he gave you some places you can go to get some open educational resources. Mr. Okafor, please.
Hello, ma. Can I quickly ask my question so that Mr. Okafor will answer both together, because my question is somehow related.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. It's also on searching resources on OER. For example, now, if I have a course and I'm looking for a teaching material for that particular course, and Mr. Okafor said we can get that under MIT. Like now, I just want him to quickly, maybe in in few minutes, let him demonstrate to us how we can do that. Thank you very much.
Okay, we will not do that now.
Okay.
But Mr. Okafor, you can, because we don't have that time. But I know you did some demonstration. Mr. Okafor, maybe if you have a video part, you can refer him to.
Hello.
So let him respond. Mr. Okafor is responding, please.
Hello.
Mr. Okafor is to respond, please.
Okay. Hello. Afternoon, Mrs. Titilayo. From your questions, you know.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, from your question, I gave two distinct types of search. And for the educational search. Hello, can you hear me? Please, let's meet ourselves.
I can hear you.
Please, can we mute ourselves? You know, we don't want to leave you permanently muted. If we do that, it will affect us. There will be no interaction. Eh?
Okay. All right.
Mr. Okafor, you can mute yourself now, please.
All right. Thank you, Prof. Now, going by the question that was asked by Miss Titi, or I don't know, Titilayo, I gave two types of search. Now, you said I should show you demonstrate how to search from, to actually search for mathematical content, like you said. I don't know if I got the question right. Now, you can go to MIT. MIT has a feature there. Then also Melot. As a Melot is spelled M-E-R-L-O-T. Melot. Now, before you can use any material in Melot, you need to register on that platform. So you have to register on Melot. So when you register on Melot, it gives you option on mathematics. I know there's quite a number of them in mathematics, quite a number of OER in mathematics in Melot. Most of these sites are actually collaborative with other OER sites. Kind of, they host the links to various open intellectual properties as regards mathematics and all the sciences. Then it actually depends on what exactly you're looking for, because I need to be sure of what exactly you kind of mathematics you want. Is it for undergraduate? Is it for postgraduate and all of that? So all those things informs where to search. I would have wanted to show us where exactly to do this, but
no time.
There's no time, and the network again is not so good. But I will try and do a very short clip on that during the week and post, so you can see how to search with going through all those various sites.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Okafor, for the response. Thank you for the response. Now, on the question that was asked, I wanted to respond, but I've changed my mind. Reason being that some people have not taken the quiz. So if I respond, I'll be providing answer. So please, the person that asked that question, I want to request, I think by the next video, live video, I don't know if we would have closed the quiz. But if not, maybe privately, you can talk with me privately there since you have taken the quiz, and I will explain to you. Is that okay by you? The person that asked the question.
Yes, Prof.
Hello?
It's okay by me. Yes, Prof. It's okay by me. Thank you, ma'am.
Because some people have not taken it. I've already modified it.
Perfectly understood. I've read. I could follow the chat room.
So here I'm going to unshare again, and we're going to take a quiz. It's a short quiz that will take us more than 2 minutes or a minute. So I'm going to come up with a poll now, and I want you to make your response. Can you see it?
Yes.
Yes.
So please, you have the time to respond now. Look at the question carefully. You can select more than one. It's not just one. You can select more than one. That gives you the best if you have to learn.
Please, I can't see any question, ma.
Can anybody see it at that end? Whoever that is seeing
Yes,
it, can you?
Yes, we can see it.
I've submitted.
I've submitted.
Olaseru
has submitted.
Yeah, I have submitted mine.
Thank you. The person that is not seeing the question, are you using your handset?
Yes, I'm using my handset.
So maybe it's the position of your handset. Maybe you might make it horizontal. You know, that is a disadvantage. If you are using handset, sometimes some things could be hidden that you may not easily see.
No, ma,
so
but even me,
make it horizontal so you can bring it out.
Excuse me, ma'am. I'm using a handset. I'm still viewing it, ma.
I think. Hello, Prof.
Yes, please.
Yeah, I think they also need to look, because the question comes up as a pop-up. So it depends on how they configure their MOOC and their Zoom and the kind of browser, what they are using to view this meeting. So it happens to.
Excuse me, Prof, ma.
Yes, please.
Yes, ma. I think I'm also using my phone, and at the same time I view it, and I was able to conduct the test and then send it over.
Yes, thank you. You know, everybody had different abilities of managing technology. So depending on how you, like what my colleague just said, how you set up.
Okay,
thank you. 99 persons have responded. I'm still waiting.
I can't find it, and I'm not seeing it, so I can't respond to anything.
Okay. Sorry, we cannot really help you now because we cannot see your
question.
Sorry, not with your device. The issue is with your device that you are using.
Yes.
104
The person
persons
didn't
have
update it. You need to update your Zoom.
104 people have responded. We are still waiting.
And I think she's using the old version of Zoom. Also.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
We are
So
still
please
waiting
try
for more.
Oh, it
update
has
your,
to
your
do
Zoom
with
version.
105 have responded.
connection.
Okay, we're going to stop it now because we don't have all the time. Now, if you look at what we have done here, the question says, as an online, the first question, there are two questions. As an online learner, which of the following would you like best to receive your content in a course? You can select more than one. It's multiple choice. Now, 49% want transmissive. 58% want individual active. 70% want collaborative active. Now, if we put it this way, the percentage are not aligning.
Japhet, is you are eating something.
Sorry? Now, if you put
Please,
it
can
way,
we have the question again? We couldn't access the question, please. Prof.
If you put, please, can we just let it be? I've already ended it. Please, let's just follow this now, please.
Yes, ma'am.
If you put it this way, let's assume you got these responses from your own learners. What does this inform you as a teacher, facilitator, as a trainer? What is it telling you? You have a higher percentage of the class that want to have this percentage, the other one individual active, because you are putting everybody together now. The people that choose collaborative, they are higher because we are saying everybody choose as many as you want to pick. And you discover a lot of people want collaborative. Another one, just individual active. Then we have a session having transmissive. What does this tell us? Who wants to speak on that? Mohammed.
Hello. Can I speak? Can I speak?
Can you mute yourself, please?
Can I
Hello,
speak, please?
I try answering the question.
Mohammed, please, can you unmute yourself and respond? I've muted everybody.
Yes, are you with me, ma'am?
We are with you.
Yes, transmissive. That means people always want to be spoon-fed by the learner, by the instructor.
No, the response. This is the response you got. Is this noise coming from your end, Mohammed?
No, it's not from me.
Hello, I say I still want to
Hello,
respond. I was trying to respond to the questions when it went off. Whether it can be
please leave that. Why don't you?
it.
Hello, leave the question. Why don't we now follow what we are doing now? Because you will gain more now from this than responding to the question now. We want to discuss the answers. Why don't we listen so we can work with our time, please? Mohammed, you have the floor. Please, let's listen to your explanation. Mohammed, unmute yourself. You have the floor.
Hello.
Hello, we can hear you.
Good afternoon, Prof. Thank you very much. Thank you, other presenters. I can see the program emphasizes, OER as against copyrighted materials. Hello, can you hear me, please?
Are you explaining what is on? Are you seeing the response to the question?
I'm trying to ask a question. Yeah. Prof.
You can't ask a question when we are doing something next. Please, can we just be orderly, please?
It's all right.
I called on Mohammed to respond. Okay.
Okay.
Can I say something?
Can I respond?
Hello.
If I don't call your name, you can't say anything, please.
Hello, good afternoon. Can I go on?
Ismaila,
Hello,
can
good
you
afternoon.
respond
Hello, good
to
afternoon.
this?
My name is actually Murtala, not Mohammed, ma. No, it's not you. I'm the one speaking. It's the Mohammed that is already speaking. Okay. Hello. I raise my hands and I'm given the floor. Can you let me speak, please?
Mohammed, speak if you are the one speaking.
All right. So what I'm trying to say here is, I have, a soft copy of a material which I want to release to the public.
You are not answering. You are not responding to the right thing, Mohammed. Can you see what I wanted you to respond to? Listen, please. We have drawn a pool. Look at the responses the pool has given to us. And my question is, let's assume this is the responses you got from your own students. You want to teach. You want to facilitate. What does this tell you to do? What does it tell you to plan for? If you don't know, we call somebody else.
Yes.
Ismaila, can you respond to that? Thank you, Mohammed. Ismaila,
Thank you very much, ma. My name is Murtala Ismail from Federal University of Agriculture, Abeokuta. Based on that statistics, it shows that transmissive will be better to adopt in that situation because it has the highest percentage.
But transmissive has 49%.
I thought you said 100, ma.
Look, are you not seeing it on the screen? Am I the only one seeing the screen?
Yes, ma.
I can't see it. You are the only one, ma.
Okay, let me reshare again.
Okay.
Let me share. Maybe you people will see it. Can you see it?
Yes.
That's the question,
You
man.
can see it now.
You can see, but not percentage is not reflected.
Percentage is not there.
Can you see my cursor?
Excuse me, ma. Excuse me.
We can see the quiz, but we cannot see the results.
The outcome.
Okay, just hold on. Just hold on.
Yes,
Please,
excuse
let's
me,
be
ma.
orderly. Time is going. Please, we are matured
Okay,
now. Please.
Yes, ma. Hello, ma. Hello.
Just hold on. Be orderly, please. I'm trying to bring out something. I want us to learn something.
Yes,
Let's
ma'am.
just be orderly, please. I want to show you the result. I want to bring it up so that you can all see it. And I want also, there's something I want you to learn from it, why I am doing this. I'm trying to put it in the mode that you'll be able to see.
I advise that people should be muted because the rowdiness is affecting the delivery.
We have muted severally and they will unmute themselves. So
Yes,
I don't know, which is not good enough.
From the settings, ma'am, you could have set it in such a way that they will not be able to unmute themselves.
But if we do that, the class will not be interactive. It will be one way.
Yes.
That is webinar. That will now be webinar. You are not going to set it to become a webinar class, whereby you can only be talking
permission.
this, which will not be okay. I'm coming, just a moment. I want to place it for you so that we can all see it. Okay, I'm going to share back my screen. Just a moment, please. Can you see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, this is the question, the responses received. This is the responses we got.
Okay.
So my question now is, let's assume this is what your students have responded. We are on number
Yes,
one, the question one. What implication will this have in your teaching?
Excuse me, ma. Can I talk?
Yes. Excuse me. Can I
No.
Please have the floor.
No.
Please, Mohammed.
Ismaila.
Yes, thank you very much, ma. Thank you very much, ma. Well, based on the statistics, it shows that collaborative active will be the system to adopt here, because most people prefer this than the other method. So collaborative active will be the best. And if the facilities or that may be difficult to achieve, the next will be the individual active, while the transmissive will be the least to go by. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Okay, let me just speak on this because
Mohammed
of
is on
time.
the floor.
Because
Mohammed.
of time. If you look at it, you have learners in this place that want transmissive. You have learners that can learn using individual active. You have learners that can learn best using collaborative active. The implication for teaching and learning is that when you are planning your content, you must ensure that all these activities are embedded in your content. And again, if you are bringing your OER, bring OER that will be transmissive, that will be individual active, that will be collaborative. But when you are now looking at the percentages of the learning activities that your students are going to take, you have to take more of the collaborative activity. Reason being that you have more persons who want to learn using the collaborative form. So you have to integrate the three. You have to integrate the transmissive, individual active, that one is supposed to be active, individual active, and collaborative active. Now, if you look at the second question, can ADDIE model be used? Can you mute yourself at the other end, please? I can't be talking and be muting people, please. Look at the ADDIE model. Can it be used in all educational levels? 93% said yes. Yes, I agree with that. 7% said no. I brought in this question going by the discussion I saw in the discussion forum. Now, when you bring in this, you are looking at using ADDIE model. You can use ADDIE model successfully in designing any form of educational course, irrespective of the level. You will be able to use ADDIE model. So in this regard, what we need to learn again, how we have to apply it in the various levels. So when it comes to the application of it during design, is the type of learning you select that will determine how it flows. Now, having said that, we are now going to break into groups. I'm going to break us now into a group. And for those that will be in group 1, you are going to give a clear difference in the use of the following. Public domain. When we say a material is in public domain, or it's a public access material, or it's an OER material, or it's a copyrighted material, or a material with fair use, what do we mean? Group 1, you provide answer for us. Then group 2, you're going to highlight ways you can effectively implement formative and summative evaluation using ADDIE model. Going to highlight ways you can effectively implement formative and summative evaluation using ADDIE model. Then group 3, you're going to explain how you integrate open educational resources using flipped classroom and scaffolding technique in an online teaching. And group 4, you're going to choose a topic. Pick any topic that is common to everybody in the group. Then write 3 learning outcomes on that topic. Select your course design pedagogy for each of the learning outcome. The learning outcome you have set. What learning pedagogy do you want to use? Is it going to be transmissive, individual active, collaborative active? Then give reason for the selection. Then the next one is present learning activities for each learning outcome and present learning resources for the learning outcome. You know that it is where you get to where you are presenting learning resources. That is where OER comes in. because it is the type of the learning resources you want that will determine what you are going to look for. Like when that person asked a question, how do I get my educational materials in mathematics? If you have not achieved your learning activities, your learning resources, you will not even know what to look for and where to look for it. So these are the questions we're going to attend to in the 4 groups. Any question on this question? Do you need further clarification as per understanding the question? If not, we're going to break into group now. If you have any, please just signify by raising your hand in the next 1 minute. Let everybody lower their hands, because people that have raised their hands before, please lower your hands so I will know those that want to ask questions now. If you have raised your hand before, please, everybody lower your hands so I will know those that will have something on this. Okay, Shehu, you want to need further clarification on these group questions? Unmute yourself, please. You are speaking, we can't hear you. Please unmute yourself.
Hello.
Hello, Shehu, you have the floor.
This is Yusuf Salim.
I call Shehu. Why should somebody else now be speaking? It's not right now.
Yes. Excuse me, ma.
That's Nigeria for all of us.
That is why I said everybody should be muted. If everybody is muted,
I have muted everybody, and you are mute yourself. I have muted everybody severally.
Okay, ma.
And I called on somebody. I called on, okay, Yusuf, do you have the floor? Ask your question.
Now, good afternoon, Prof.
Good afternoon.
Hello, ma.
We can hear you, sir.
My question is, yes, sir. My question is this online forum that we are engaging ourselves, now that is divided into groups. Now, how do you know where one belongs to a group? That's just my question. Thank you.
The group is right here now. You are doing it now, not tomorrow, not the next moment. We'll get everything now.
No, ma,
okay,
I mean
thank you. We are going into our groups now. And what you're going to do, when you get to your group, choose your leader and choose your rapporteur. And you're going to have 10 minutes to work. After 10 minutes, we are all coming back again so that we'll do our presentation and we'll have a review. So I'm going to stop sharing now and we're going to break into groups right now. Thank you, everyone. I'm going to break you now into group. So the group you find yourself, there you know what exactly you need to do in that group. I will share the question to every group. But right now, you're going to find yourself in a group. I'm still seeing some people in the house. I wouldn't know, maybe you have some challenges with your internet.
Hello, good afternoon. Good afternoon, please.
Please, is anything going on? I can't hear anyone speak. Please, have we been shared into groups? I cannot hear anyone speak.
All right, well, it's, I don't know if y'all hearing me, it's morning at my end here, and I only kind of just came in because I didn't know the time difference. So I'm not too sure what we're supposed to do. My system just froze there and came back.
I'm not yet added to any group. Yes.
Have we been shared into groups?
I've not been added into groups, ma.
I think we are at the moment. I'm not too sure what we're supposed to be discussing. I think they said something about questions when I was coming in. Anybody know what's the question?
Hello, am I on to group 1? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, am I in group 1 now?
I don't know. I was a little confused with the time difference because I'm in the West Indies. So when I saw 3 to 4, I just happened to go into my email and saw that the process was taking place. So, and I got bumped off temporarily. So I'm not too sure. I realize we're in a breakout room, but I don't know what we're supposed to be discussing.
It's okay.
Please, I don't know the group that I belong to. I don't know whether we have been shared into groups.
Yes, we are shared into group. I'm in group 1, but my phone just did somehow and I can't.
I cannot see my own group. I have not seen the groupings. Hello?
Hello?
Which group do I belong to? I don't know. Is it group 2?
Hello, are we done?
We are welcome back to the bigger class. I think almost everybody is here now.
Please, some of us did not participate. I didn't know the group I belong to.
We have not finished our assignment. Group 2.
You are welcome back. Some of you, it's like you have issue with your internet because we'll put you in a group, the thing will bounce you out.
Yes.
Yes,
So I
that's
think you have
exactly what
issue
happened
with
to me.
your internet.
I belong
So
to
you are
group 1, but I don't know
welcome
what happened.
Please,
when the
can we
thing
just save time now?
For me, it's the same problem.
Because we try to work with time because we know that some other persons may be having some other assignments.
Yes.
And we've already overshot the time, please. So we have 4 groups, and I hope you will enjoy the experience.
Yes.
Because what we just did is an example of collaborating. And I'm going to, I want to mute everybody. Please don't unmute again because all those extra talk, it takes a lot of our time, please. Except you have to speak, then you unmute. After speaking, mute back, please. Now, I'll call on group 1 to share their own experience. Group 1, the rapporteur for that group or the chairperson for that group, please unmute yourself and present for your group. Group 1, we are to give a clear difference in the use of the following public domain, public access, OER, copyright, and fair use. I was in your group and you were doing something so great. So please, you have the floor now. Group 1. Group 1.
Yeah, good afternoon, ma. Yeah, I'm Adetunji Kehinde. I'm presenting on behalf
Please put on your video if possible.
Yeah,
if
my video is on.
Okay,
So
now pin it. Pin on your video. I can locate you. So everybody can see you speak.
Yeah, thank you, ma.
Thank you.
Good
You have
afternoon. Yeah, thank you, ma. Yes, we had a good interaction in group 1. At that level, we try to differentiate between those items listed, starting with the public domain. And what we concluded about public domain is that it's a place or location where we can source our different materials. And those materials really are very accessible materials. The licenses are usually CC BY, and there is no IP, there is no intellectual property right on it as such. And some materials that you get there also can be so labeled as having CCO license. In the case of public access, we said that these materials are, the public has free access to the materials, and they also have the same characteristics of what you said earlier, no CCO license, then CC BY, and they are non-commercial as well. So we talked about OER. We said OER are open educational resources. They are materials that you get freely, but they have different levels of license, and different level of access to. We also said that these materials can come in different forms, text, video, and some other forms of media. In terms of copyrights, we said copyrights are rights enjoyed by owners of educational material to control the use and distribution of such educational material. And lastly, in the case of fair use, we didn't deal much on that, but for fair use, I think the opinion also is that fair use would be the permission for a third party or public to use the material of another author as long as he doesn't have any commercial interest, or I think it doesn't have no commercial interest, or the use is for the interest of the public. I think that's about what we stop.
Thank you.
Tony.
Thank you so much. It was a great work. That is a great work from group one.
Yeah, thank you.
If not for because of time, I would have allowed one or two persons from other group to add to it, or from your group to add to it. I want to call on my colleague, Mr. Okechukwu. Please, can you mute yourself, please, if you are not called upon to speak, please. Mr. Okechukwu Okafor, please, can you come on to?
All right. Okay, thank you very much, Ma. Thank you very much, Prof. I don't know if I had to share my screen. So I'll just do it
except if there is something you want to show to us, you share.
No, there's really nothing to show, but I could just do the explanation here. Anyway, a nice presentation by group one. They made a very great attempt in tackling and answering those questions. But again, I noticed that there was some mixed up between the public domain and the public access. For the public domain, now the public domain has no license attached to it. I heard you saying the public domain has a CC BY. No, the public domain has an icon of CC0, meaning that at that point, the author has already relinquished his right to that material. As a matter of fact, any document in the public domain, you do not have to attribute to the owner. You don't need to communicate to the owner of that content before you use it. You can use it however and for whatever you choose to use it for. And such documents are documents that probably the author maybe as a lapse after 70 years of authorship and some other things. And at that point, the document is at the public domain. So that means you do not need to attribute. Then for public access, now, for you to say that a material is on public access, that means that that material is accessible for use. And when I mean use, I mean you can only maybe for your student to go and read. Like for instance, in the National Open University, we have our courseware, and most of our courseware are in the public access. The reason for doing this is for our students, so they can access it wherever they are. But of course, if you want to use, you cannot remix that particular content. You cannot adapt it. You cannot use it for commercial purposes. As a matter of fact, it's still copyrighted. It's still copyrighted, but it's in the public access. Just the way you go to Google and you read an information on your Google. But that does not mean that that particular document, you can use it for your work. And if at all you want to use it, you need to get permission from the author. That's the thing. That's the difference between domain and public access. For OER, yeah, you were able to shed some light on OER. I may not necessarily have to go there, but OER are materials that are released under an open intellectual property, and these materials can be free of cost, and are legal to reuse, remix, revise, and redistribute, as it is. Now, for a copyrighted document, you also got the copyrighted document because you said the copyright actually gives the owner of the work the right to remix, redistribute, and do whatever he chooses to do with that work. And of course, then for fair use, you were a little bit we didn't say much on fair use, but fair use is this. Before the advent of OER, most people uses that fair use as an affirmative defense, to claim the copyrighted owner's work. Hello, are we together? Now,
we are hearing you. Speak up.
So it actually permits a party to use a copyrighted work without the owner's permission. That's what fair use is, and what it does is this, and it has a limit anyway. It's not like you will use the complete, material, but if you are using a particular copyrighted work for reporting, we are using it for teaching, we are using it for research, scholarship, and the rest of that. yes, it can be seen as fair use, but there are also the percentage of such material that can be used that such document was used for fair use purposes. For instance, the nature of the copyrighted work, there are some work that when you use, you cannot say that's a fair use. You know, when you use the work in totality and without permission from the copyright, from the owner of the such work, that cannot be seen as fair use. But if a percentage of it, like for instance, you decide to use you decide to pick out a particular unit from the National Open University textbook, for instance, that is in the public access. Probably you are doing something in mathematics, like what Titilayo referred to, and there's a particular formula or something you'll be looking for, and you decide to use that particular formula. You can just pick out something from it, but when you decide to use a complete module or you decide to use a complete textbook, that is not regarded as fair use. So basically, these are just some of the summary of how.
Thank you. I think we have had a fair.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Now, colleagues, let's have an agreement because we have already overshot the time with about 17 minutes. Do we have an agreement to look at the responses from others, or we close it because we have already overshot the time and I don't have the power to keep you on?
Let's look at them.
Okay, thank you. So, but please, let's be more orderly.
Maybe 5 minutes.
Be orderly so that we can be fast, please. Please, let's be orderly.
Please.
Thank you. Now, I want to call on group 2. Group 2, who is your presenter? Who is presenting for group 2? Please, can you come on board? And the question for group 2 says, highlight ways you can effectively implement formative and summative evaluation using ADDIE model. I was in your group 2 and you had a nice discussion. You have the floor. Who is speaking for group 2?
Yeah,
group 2.
I'll speak for group 2, ma.
Okay, sir, you have the floor, sir.
We try. Thank you very much. In answering this question, we broke it into 4 modules. Number 1, to define what ADDIE is, what formative evaluation is, what summative evaluation is, and finally, effective ways to implement formative and summative evaluation model using ADDIE. ADDIE, as we all know, is one of the models used to guide the way courses are designed, whether online or face-to-face, and it has 5 steps: analysis, design, development, implementation, and evaluation. Formative evaluation is usually done at the beginning of a course, while summative evaluation is done at the end of the course, when the course has ended. And the effective ways by which this could be used, both formative and summative evaluation method using ADDIE, is by 1, taking questionnaire at the beginning of the course to have the feel of how the class look like. And as the course is going on, to introduce things like quizzes and tests. Then at the end of the course, to give an overall examination. And as the case may be, how it may look like, then things like project could come up. So these are ways by which we can use summative and formative evaluation method to using the ADDIE model to what we can how we can implement the formative and summative evaluation. And these are being done at every stage of the analysis, the design, the development, and implementation stage. Thank you very much.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. That was a good one from group 2. When you want to look at the ADDIE model and you want to look at the evaluation section, one may ask, why need to wait till the end before I evaluate my work? Because the last stage of ADDIE says evaluation. Then it goes back again to analysis and the rest. That means After you have evaluated, what do? You get the findings of your evaluation to review what you have done. Now, the question is, we are looking at formative and summative. Yes, you are very correct when you say the summative is done at the end of a particular, when you have given task, you give a summative to have a view of it. Now, when you're talking about the formative, yes, I agree with something that you do while the process is still ongoing. So when you are planning your RD model, you need to bring this into place where you are doing your lesson plan. It comes in during your design. That is where you need to identify what you're going to use as summative, what you're going to use as formative. And why do you need this? That will equally influence the type of resource that you might need to have. Because some of us, because of what we do, you might need a resource, a standardized test questions that are already somewhere, available somewhere. Like those in nursing, I think they have what they call, is it Husky? They use in assessing, it's already developed, it's already approved by a body. And with that, if you want to use it, it's there for you as an open resource. So you go there and pick it. But how will you identify what to pick? That is the question. So the formative, I agree, it comes at the end. The summative. The formative come as the work progresses. And in the part of the formative, like for example, you can decide to have a quiz. You can decide to have assignments. Why is it formative? It's formative, but because you must give a feedback that will help the learner improve on his or her learning. And again, I think I peeped into that group and there was a little bit of discussion going on there, talking about the diagnostic. Yes, the person that discussed in that group, talking about the diagnostic, you are equally right. You diagnose to know what the knowledge that the learners already have that they are coming in with. And that will help you to have a starter. We didn't discuss it there. And if you want to do that diagnostic, it will come in during the analysis stage. When you are doing your need assessment, that is where you need to find out what they already have before you can go on. Now, let me just say a little bit, like the pre-survey with it. The pre-survey, we're going to keep you already analyzed it. We're going to do the same thing when we are done to say, okay, what you say you have, did you really have it? And another thing, okay, they said they already have this. What is lacking that we need to improve on during the work process? So group 2, thank you very much. We appreciate you. I would have allowed other people to contribute because I'm just being mindful now of time. So thank you. So group 3, please can you come up? Group 3. Group 3, you have the floor, please.
Dr. Sefinat Omuya is representing the group. And the question
says, explain how you will integrate OERO using flipped classroom and scaffolding. So you have the floor. Thank you.
All right. We did say that in order to, for us to integrate flip charts into our classroom, there's a need for us to identify, to set the learning outcome. The learning outcome will guide the learning activities to be added to the class. And we said that in flipped classroom, that the learning materials that may be in the form of text or video is usually given to the class before the lecture. They're expected to have worked on it before coming in for the real-time class. Then talking about scaffolding, we did mention that the teacher will come online to demonstrate practically what is expected, how to solve a particular problem. And then questions are now given to the students for them to solve similar problems, to enable them internalize what has been taught. And we quickly said that there are things we need to put together, to put in mind before choosing our activities. And that is Is it going to be transmissive? Is it going to be individual, active, or collaborative? All this determines what will be included in either the flipped classroom or using the scaffolding technique. Thank you very much.
We cannot hear you, ma. Prof, we can't
Sorry,
hear you.
Sorry.
Prof, okay.
Dr. Safina, I said I won't let you go yet. You have not told us how the OER will integrate.
Okay.
At what point do you now bring in the OER?
At the point at which we will bring it is, you know, I did mention something that we have 3 pedagogies. It can be transmissive, individual active, or collaborative active. Now, if it is transmissive or individual active, then it means the text or the video we give to our students will be before the class so that they can work on it before the real time.
Okay, thank you.
I don't know whether.
Yes, you can work on something before the real live class, yes. But the OER there is still missing. You tried, it was a good one. Does anybody in that group, don't leave yet, we are still with your group. Does anybody in that group want to add something? Any other person in the group?
Hello, ma.
Yes, please.
Are you with me, ma?
You very much,
Yes.
we are with you.
What we are saying for the OER material to be, you know, when we say flip classroom, we are talking of an items that is open to public that we can integrate by using that text, which is open online resources, as well as video. This video could either be from YouTube, from chats, or other social medias, so that before we go to the class, we now give these students to work on them. That's integration of flipped classroom. Now we give them to work on them on their own separately. Then when they come to class, then we'll now analyze what we have done. That is the learning outcome. Before the learning.
Thank you so much.
Now, again?
Can you still? Oh, okay.
Yes, for the scaffolding, we talk of simulation method of teaching. Now, in simulation, we give them an actual demonstration of the teaching activities live. Then we now feed them with a demonstration of a problem-solving analysis. Then when we give them this a problem to solve on their own, it means we have gone simulation for the scaffolding. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Now, this is a little bit technical. If you want, before you can think of bringing in your scaffolding, or you want to use your flipped classroom for facilitation, there are things you need to do. Let's cite an example with the class we have in now. It's a flipped class. Now, before we got to this stage, the class was designed. The course was designed. We have to identify the learning activities that is going to be done. And when you are identifying the learning activities in the course design, that is where you now have to think, this learning activity, is it going to be transmissive? Is it going to be individual active? Is it going to be collaborative? If you look at the activities we have done since, we came in, we did collaborative, we did individual, and there is transmissive. So what you do is that when you have identified the activities, what resource will I need? You have to identify the resource. And it is at the point of identifying the resource that the OER comes in. And if, for example, you have an activity, the activity is for them to learn how to sound words. You want to learn how to sound words. That is the activities. And sounding words in English language. Now, you now find out what resource will I give to them that will help them be able to do this one that I want them to do. And you discover that, okay, I'm going to get a video. And this video has to be a video that normally help to pronounce so that the learners will be able to see how to voice those words over. And you now look at, okay, this video, I will not be able to prepare it on my own. I have to source for an OER. I have found a video somewhere. It's an OER video, which is good. And you now identify that OER video. It's after that you will now come in to say, okay, am I going to use my flipped classroom? Should I not give them this video ahead to watch before we come to the live class to discuss it? Then if it is a reading material, what do I do with them? Oh, this is where you now come in to know whether you want to go scaffolding or you want to use a flipped class method. Because both the scaffolding and flipped class method, they are pedagogy you apply during facilitation. Whereas being transmissive, collaborative, active, and individual active, they are pedagogy you apply when you are planning the learning, when you are designing the course. So thank you very much. I will now go to the last group. Thank you, group 3. You did wonderfully well. That was a great one. So group 4, please, are you up there? Your own is to choose a topic, write 3 learning outcomes, select a course pedagogy. Group 4, please, you have the floor. Who is speaking for group 4? You have the floor.
Okay, can I quickly give summary of what we did in group 4?
You are very free.
All right.
Please, who is speaking for group 4? Is that Dr. Francis? Because 2 people are speaking at the same time.
Yes.
See Dr. Francis? Okay, thank you.
Yes, I'm the one speaking. All right. We chose the topic, water. Water was our topic, and our learning outcome were, by the end of this unit, the student will be able to, 1, define water, 2, identify sources of water, and 3, state the uses of water. And then when we're selecting the course pedagogy to use, we selected for the learning outcome 1, which is to define water. We selected transmissive. For the second outcome, we selected individual active. And for the third outcome, we selected collaborative active. And for the resources to use, we were unable to complete our session because of time, but the third one we discussed before our time went off was the resources to use. And for the learning, for the first learning outcome, we said the teacher bring in a bottle of water or sachet water, or at the same time, he can use a video text to define water and a picture of water. Now, for the second learning outcome, which is stating the uses of water, then we can use a chart to state the uses. And then, for the second one, which is identifying sources of water, we have a chart that shows the different sources of water that we have. For the one, to state the water, and then we have a video to explain that, and that was very important for our time.
Are you true? Okay, thank you so much. I know the group 4 work was a little bit heavy. Sorry that you didn't have enough time to complete that section. And it's quite technical. I would have been able to make more review of your work if it was presented maybe with a document, maybe through PowerPoint. Let me see what you did to be able to really work on it. But however, I will just speak generally on what you needed to have done, because this is where we are going to as we go into this other week. you have a topic, you write. Because right now we cannot really say whether your learning outcomes are measurable or not. And at the same time, we needed to have seen what activity you are using transmissive, individual active, collaborative actives for. Because it is the activity that will determine whether the pedagogy that you want to use for the activity, it is worthwhile or not. Now, again, we would have loved to see the learning resources that you have chosen, how relevant the learning resources are. So these things are really very important to all of us, and I do hope we'll be able to work more on this as we progress. I'm going to mute everybody again. I kept saying less noise is really much. Okay. So I want to thank everyone, but before we leave, I want to give somebody just chance to speak. Because of time, we'll just have to go. Dr. Stutz, please, what is your takeaway today? Dr. Negja Stutz. Can you hear me, please?
It appears.
I'm seeing the person.
Okay.
Dr. Negja Stutz. Okay. Dr. Negja Stutz doesn't want to say anything to us.
Let me use this opportunity to appreciate what you have done.
Who is using the opportunity now? Sorry, let me see who is speaking.
Name is Google Japheth.
Okay, Japheth.
Yes. In fact,
please put on your video. Okay, thank you. So with this, we end the class after Japheth.
I want to appreciate you have done a very good job. I have actually been privileged to attend so many of these trainings, but the method you have used now, breaking into groups, group sessions and all this, has given a very comprehensive way of actually delivering online learning. And I want to thank you for the good job you have done.
Thank you. I want to thank everyone that has attended this section. I will look forward to the last live class, and I wish us well as we walk along. Please, if you have any difficulty, don't feel very free to contact us so that we can come in and see how we can assist to walk through. And my colleague has already promised is going to do a little video for us on the other aspect that we could not provide answer to because of time. So with this, a day for today, and I wish everyone a joyful moment as you walk through the course. Bye-bye.
Thank you, ma'am. Sorry, I could not speak. There was some internet problem was there.
Thank you.
Okay. Are you good to go now?
Your number?
We
Thank
can
you. Enjoy the moment. Enjoyed it.
Oh, how can we get your number, please?
It was really very nice to have go through this course even online and
we get your number.
participating.
Somebody is speaking. Somebody is speaking.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
How can we get your number, please?
Everybody is talking.
No,
Nobody
somebody is speaking. Let's just give her a
Please, can you
chance. I called on
I have
her
the video
earlier
recording
on.
of what happened earlier and all.
Let's give her. Okay, Dr.
Can we
Stu, you have
get the numbers of the facilitators? The numbers of the facilitators, please. In case we want to, the numbers of the facilitators, in case we want to ask them questions. Hello, Prof.
Okay, thank you, everyone.
Hello, Prof.
Send us mail. Send us mail. If you have any questions, send us mail. Go to the course page. You will find the technical email there. Please send mail.
There's a place that's indicated that we can call you.
Hello.
Hello.
Okay, bye-bye.
You can